Have you ever wondered what it would be like if she couldn't stop thinking about you? If every word you said created such a strong impact that she simply wanted to be by your side, always wanting more. The truth is that many men make mistakes not because they lack effort, but because they don't know how to talk to a woman in such a way that she feels your presence even in your absence. If you're tired of conversations that lead nowhere, of feeling ignored or not remembered by her, here's the key. High-value men don't just talk, they leave a mark. In this content, you'll discover how to master this skill, creating connection, desire, and a longing that she won't be able to ignore. The solution, it's simple. It's not about being the best looking or the richest guy. It's about understanding how to turn words, gestures, and even silence into powerful tools of attraction. You're about to learn exactly how men who truly conquer do it, and more importantly, how you can too. Let's get to the point of the video. But first, make sure you're already subscribed to this channel. The next few videos will be a series that will completely transform your way of communicating and conquering, so you definitely don't want to miss out. The power of first impressions. Imagine being in a crucial moment, where every detail of the environment seems etched in your memory. The first time someone looks you in the eye, or the way they smile, can be enough to create an impression that stays with you for a long time. High-value men understand this almost instinctively. For them, first interactions don't revolve around showing off status or impressing with rehearsed words. The real strength lies in something more subtle, the ability to create a lasting emotional impact. Think of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who believed that the way we present ourselves to the world reflects the essence of who we are. He teaches us that we shouldn't live to please others, but instead should focus on what is authentic and true. This translates into how high-value men interact. They know that, when leaving a mark, it's not what they say that matters, but how they make the other person feel. It's not about showing power or impressing, but about communicating calm, confidence, and genuine attention. That first impression begins long before words are exchanged. The way a man enters a place, how he positions his body, or how he directs his gaze already says a lot. It's a gesture of respect for himself and others. Even without conscious intention, it conveys a message: I'm here, I'm present, I'm living in this moment. It's about offering a sense of stability and control without having to say a word. The tone of voice, something often overlooked, also plays a vital role. A calm and consistent tone conveys security, while rushed or nervous speech reveals insecurity. For high-value men, every word is chosen with intention, but not in a rigid or artificial way. They understand that being heard is just as important as listening. There's also the impact of visual touch. Holding a gaze for a little longer, accompanied by a slight smile, is enough to create a silent connection. There's no exaggeration, no rush. This controlled pause shows respect and sincere interest, while leaving space for the other side to process and appreciate the moment. That's why, for high-value men, the goal isn't just to create a good impression. It's to build a memorable beginning that is more about the shared experience than about themselves. After all, the first impression may not say everything about who you are, but it certainly establishes how you will be remembered. Confidence and emotional control. True confidence is not imposed on others, but is transmitted silently, through actions and behavior. For high-value men, confidence is not something that is displayed in an arrogant or exaggerated way. It's like a solid foundation, built through consistent actions and deep emotional control. This means knowing when to speak, when to listen, and, above all, how to react in the face of challenges. In Stoicism, especially in the teachings of Epictetus, we find a powerful lesson on self-control. It is not things that disturb us, but our opinion of them. Men of high value, then, don't react impulsively, but make a conscious choice about how to respond to any situation. They don't allow themselves to be shaken by criticism, provocation, or problems. Their attitude is not one of defense, but of stability. They know that true strength lies in keeping calm, even when the world around them seems unstable. This is reflected in their interactions with women. When a high-value man maintains his calm and composure, regardless of what is happening around him, he sends out the message that he is in control, not just of the situation, but of himself. This is deeply attractive. Women are attracted to men who have emotional control, because this stability brings a sense of security and comfort. In a world where emotions often dominate actions, a man who is not easily shaken stands out. On the other hand, men who seek to please at all costs, or who overreact to criticism or challenges, show an emotional fragility. that ends up undermining their attractiveness. Genuine trust is built when a man understands that he doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. He knows himself, he knows what he has to offer, and he trusts in his value without having to shout it to others. This confidence is also reflected in his body language. A man who maintains an upright posture, with a firm gaze and a calm tone of voice, automatically projects confidence. It's not something he needs to say, it's something he conveys with his presence. Emotional control then becomes an extension of this. When he doesn't allow his emotions to dominate him, he demonstrates that he has the ability to lead not only situations, but also his own feelings. The secret here lies in calmness. No matter how chaotic or challenging the situation, a high-value man knows that his greatest asset is to remain calm and confident in any circumstance. That's what really attracts. That's what makes people, especially women, feel secure and want more of his company. So, had you heard about this? Did you know it existed? Let me know in the comments if you've experienced it or if you know the story of someone who has. I'll help you out in the comments. Subtle gestures and body language in a world where words often carry more weight than they should. High-value men understand that silent actions can be even more powerful. It's not what you say, but how you present yourself that really makes the difference. Every gesture, every movement, carries a message that goes beyond any speech. And, contrary to what many people believe, you don't have to gesture in an exaggerated or dramatic way to be noticed. Small details are more impactful than flashy demonstrations. In Stoicism, we find the idea that calm and calculated behavior conveys more than words. Marcus Aurelius, in his Reflections, talked about the importance of being like a rock that the waves keep hitting, but remains unshaken. High-value men incorporate this philosophy into their body language. Their actions are natural, fluid, and convey calm and confidence. This is perceived in small gestures, such as the slight tilt of the head while listening attentively or the relaxed but firm posture when interacting. Eye contact is a powerful tool in this process. Looking someone in the eye, without being intimidating or evasive, communicates genuine interest and respect. It's not just looking for the sake of looking, but showing that you are present in that moment. When combined with a subtle but sincere smile, this creates an atmosphere of connection and comfort. This simple and accessible gesture has the power to disarm even the most closed-minded people. Another crucial point is posture. High-value men understand that the way they position themselves in space affects the way others perceive them. They avoid tense or closed postures that suggest discomfort or insecurity. Instead, they keep their shoulders relaxed, their spine erect, and their movements smooth. This presence conveys stability and self-reliance, two characteristics that naturally attract. Subtle gestures also include calculated touches, such as a light touch on the hand when emphasizing a point during conversation, or a careful movement to adjust something in the environment. These small acts, when done respectfully, create a sense of closeness and connection. In the end, the secret lies in the intention behind the actions. High-value men don't make theatrical moves to attract attention. Instead, they let their presence speak for itself. Their gestures and body language are an extension of who they really are. Confident, calm, and fully aware of themselves. And it is this energy, silent and powerful, that leaves a lasting mark. The mystery factor. There's something intriguing about not knowing everything about someone. Mystery, when used wisely, has an irresistible power, and high-value men understand this clearly. It's not about playing emotional games or intentionally hiding parts of yourself, but understanding that curiosity is one of the most potent forces in building attraction. Men who know how to balance what they share and what they keep to themselves leave others intrigued, wanting to know more. In Stoicism, Chrysippus taught us that not everything needs to be said or revealed. This philosophical approach reflects the ability to discern what is worth exposing and what should be kept private. High-value men apply this principle to their interactions. They share just enough to engage, but never everything at once. The result? Each conversation becomes a piece of a puzzle, and the other person feels a growing need to uncover who they really are. Think of a movie that grabs your attention from the start, but never delivers all the answers immediately. A man who cultivates mystery acts in the same way. He may tell a fascinating story, but stop at the climax, leaving room for questions. Or he might make an intelligent observation and wait for the other person to explore further, rather than delivering full explanations. This dynamic creates a gripping tension, an expectation that keeps the conversation alive even when he's not there. Another important aspect of mystery is the careful choice of words and attitudes. High-value men don't over-explain themselves. They answer questions sincerely, but without going into unnecessary detail. This approach leaves room for imagination and allows the other person to fill in the gaps with their own perception, which can make the experience even more captivating. What's more, the mystery is not only in what is said, but also in what is not. A strategic pause, an enigmatic smile, or a calculated detour in the conversation creates an air of complexity that people can't ignore. Marcus Aurelius wrote that simplicity is the key to true sophistication, and that applies perfectly here. Mystery doesn't have to be manufactured. It arises naturally when someone is comfortable with themselves and what they choose to share. In the end, mystery is less about hiding and more about gradually revealing. It's this controlled progression that keeps attention and interest alive. High-value men know that curiosity is like a flame, and it's the mystery that keeps it burning, making people, especially women, always want to come back for more. Strategic silence and emotional impact in a world where noise dominates. Silence has become a powerful tool. High-value men understand that what is not said often carries more meaning than words. They use silence strategically, not as an absence of communication, but as a way of creating space for reflection, connection, and emotional tension. This practice, rooted in self-control, is a reflection of the emotional balance that the Stoics value so much. Epictetus said that we should master our language before trying to master the world. This lesson is echoed in the actions of men of high value, who don't feel the need to fill every moment with words. Instead, they allow silence to function as an intentional pause, giving space for the other side to absorb what has been said, interpret emotions, and react in a genuine way. This space creates an atmosphere of presence and depth that words alone rarely achieve. But silence is not just a tool for listening. It is also a way of amplifying emotional impact. Imagine a moment of intense connection, where a profound question is asked and, instead of answering immediately, the man waits, looking into the other person's eyes. This intentional pause not only increases expectation, but also allows time for emotions to intensify. It's in this interval that the words gain weight and the interaction becomes memorable. Silence can also be a way of demonstrating confidence. Insecure men often feel the need to talk non-stop, filling every second with justifications or stories. High-value men, on the other hand, understand that comfortable silence is a sign of inner strength. They know that they don't need to prove anything to anyone, and that sometimes it's better to let their actions or presence speak for themselves. Finally, strategic silence helps create emotional highs and lows during an interaction. This oscillation is what makes conversations dynamic and captivating. After a moment of silent tension, a well-placed comment or a thought-provoking question can generate an even greater impact. It's like the pause before the music starts playing again. It builds anticipation and makes the next moment even more powerful. So silence is not just the absence of sound, but a deliberate tool used to create connection, intensity, and meaning. High-value men understand this and know that, amid all the noise in the world, it is in silence that the deepest emotions can emerge. Well, we're halfway through the content, and I've noticed that you haven't liked this video yet. This is very important so that YouTube can continue to recommend our content to you and so that we can continue to help you. So, like this video, it's free, okay? Moving on. Creating emotional hooks. When we think of conversations that remain in our memory, there is usually something about them that touches us deeply. Whether it's a specific word, a shared laugh, or a remarkable story, these moments leave a lasting impression. High-value men know how to create these emotional hooks, small points of connection that become engraved in the minds and hearts of those who share the conversation. This ability is not just natural, it is cultivated with intention and authenticity. The Stoics believed that true power lies in the way we influence the minds and hearts of others. Seneca said that it is not what you possess, but what you do with what you possess that really matters. This philosophy is reflected in the ability to create emotional impact through seemingly simple interactions. High-value men, instead of worrying about appearing interesting, focus on arousing genuine emotions in the other person. This can start with a compliment, but not just any generic compliment. It's something that goes beyond the superficial, something that shows perception and attention. For example, instead of saying "you're beautiful," a high-value man might comment on something more specific and meaningful, such as "you have a contagious energy that lights up the room." This kind of remark not only highlights something unique, but also shows that he is really present in the interaction. Another powerful resource is the playful tease. A gentle tease, done respectfully, creates a fun and spontaneous dynamic. It's as if he's saying, "I see you, and I'm comfortable enough to play with you." This balance between humor and lightness is an essential element in building connection. The provocation is not meant to diminish the other, but to create a lively exchange. In addition, storytelling is an indispensable tool for creating emotional hooks. High-value men share experiences that evoke emotions, whether through moments of overcoming, funny situations, or even personal reflections. They choose stories that resonate with the other person, that make them laugh, reflect, or even feel a chill. It is in this space that the emotional connection is strengthened. These hooks are not created by chance. They arise from the intention to make each conversation memorable, to create moments that the other person will continue to relive mentally even after the interaction. When done authentically, emotional hooks not only strengthen the connection, but also leave a feeling of nostalgia. After all, it's this combination of attention, humor, and emotion that makes a high-value man remembered, even when he's absent. The power of absence and push-pull dynamics in any relationship. There is something deeply magnetic about the balance between presence and absence. High-value men understand that calculated distance is not a sign of disinterest, but a powerful strategy for creating attraction and making shared moments even more valuable. The idea of push-pull, i.e. the movement of moving closer and further away, works like an emotional dance that keeps interest alive and curiosity constant. Marco Aurelio, in his Reflections, said that we need to understand the importance of moving away from distractions in order to focus on what really matters. This principle can be applied directly to human interactions. High-value men are not always available, and this is not out of arrogance, but because they recognize the value of space. They understand that for someone to feel nostalgia, there must be moments of absence, a break for the other person to process their feelings and reflect on the connection. This doesn't mean disappearing or creating a forced mystery. Emotional distance is not built through games, but by creating a balanced dynamic where each interaction has its own weight and importance. After a meaningful moment, a deep conversation, a striking encounter, or even a memorable exchange of glances, they know the time to back off. It's like allowing the flame of a candle to grow, rather than smothering it with excessive oxygen. This strategic absence gives room for the memories of the previous moment to flourish. The human mind tends to idealize and value more what is not constantly available. That's why, when a high-value man takes a step back, he not only creates a space of longing, but also increases the perception of his presence when he is around again. In addition, push-pull works as a way of keeping the relationship dynamic and interesting. It's not a manipulative tactic, but a balance between giving and receiving. At times, they show themselves to be warm and approachable. At others, they focus on their own interests, allowing the other side to realize that they have a rich and independent life. This creates a contrast that makes each interaction more valuable. In the end, the power of absence lies in showing that presence should not be trivialized. High-value men recognize that it's in the space between encounters that desire grows, curiosity intensifies, and true attraction is strengthened. They know that sometimes less is more, and that distance, used wisely, can be the greatest catalyst for deep and lasting connections. Now you have in your hands the secret that differentiates ordinary men from those who really leave a mark. From the importance of a first impression that stays in her mind, to the confidence that overflows in every gesture and word, to the power of silence and absence, these are all tools that high-value men use to create deep and unforgettable connections. Remember, it's not about having a perfect physique, a fat bank account, or even being the most outgoing. It's about how you present yourself, how you make her feel, and how you use your presence and your absence to create a desire that grows over time. The way you speak, look, gesture, and even the moments when you choose to say nothing are the details that make all the difference. Now, what you do with this knowledge is up to you. You can carry on as you are, letting opportunities slip by and accepting being overlooked. Or you can start applying these techniques today, becoming the man she misses, the man she desires, and the man she can't stop thinking about. If you've made it this far, you've already taken the first step. The choice is now yours. Carry on as you are or raise your game and become the man who not only talks, but leaves a mark. The decision is in your hands. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can keep receiving the next content. See you in the next video.